Jones, Andy Pandy, in Andy Pandy Land.
Andy Pandy was very busy one morning. He had been making a chair for his cousin. He had a big cardboard box to pack it in. Then he was going to send it off. Next, he needed some string to tie up the box. He found the string. There was more than enough to tie the big box, Andy Pandy thought. But Andy Pandy should have been more careful. The ball of string hadn't been wound up tightly and he tripped over it. He hadn't hurt himself, but where had his string gone to? The ball of string had rolled all the way to Tiffo's kennel. Tiffo thought someone was playing a game with him. At last, Andy Pandy saw the trail of string and decided to follow it. That would take him to the rest of the string. Teddy was coming to visit Andy Pandy to see if he wanted to play. Teddy was surprised to see the box outside Andy Pandy's house. He'd never seen a box as big as that before. He went to ask his friend what it was for. But Andy Pandy wasn't there. Teddy looked in the box to see what was inside. Teddy had never seen the chair before. Maybe it was a new chair for Andy Pandy. He thought he'd be very helpful and put it in Andy Pandy's house for him. Tiffo was still playing with the string. Missy Hissy was very surprised to find her house full of string. Andy Pandy was following the string, but he still had a long way to go to find the rest of it. Teddy was still waiting for Andy Pandy to come home. He'd been waiting for a while, and he wanted to play. Then he had an idea. He'd play by himself in the box while he waited. Teddy played at being an astronaut. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. Teddy pretended he was whizzing up, up, up into the sky towards the moon. Prepare for touchdown. He thought that the moon looked pretty much like home, really. Maybe, thought Teddy, maybe I could be a racing driver. Teddy's pretend racing car went very, very fast indeed. Then he went a bit too fast and crashed his box. Teddy thought he'd pretend the box was something a little bit slower this time. How about a submarine? Teddy pretended he was sailing peacefully beneath the sea, watching all the fish swim past. Andy Pandy was still following the trail of string. Missy Hissy wanted to know why Andy had put all the string in her house. Andy Pandy said he hadn't. It had just sort of run away from him. Andy Pandy followed the string through the playground, past Albay's house, and over Bilbo's boat. At last, Andy Pandy found why the string had gone all over the garden. He asked Tiffo if he could have it back. But Tiffo thought he was playing. Andy Pandy explained that he didn't have time for games. He needed to tie up a parcel. Thank you, Tiffo, said Andy Pandy. Andy Pandy soon had the box all nicely tied up and ready for sending to his cousin. Andy Pandy thought he had never lifted such a heavy chair. And he'd never heard a chair making banging noises like that. And he'd never seen a chair wriggling about either. Andy Pandy was very surprised. It wasn't a chair at all, it was Teddy. Teddy explained how he'd been playing in the box but had got tired of waiting for Andy Pandy to come home and had fallen asleep. Andy Pandy thought that he'd like to play in the box too. The chair could wait, said Andy Pandy. First, they'd pretend they were train drivers. All aboard the Andy Pandy Express!